Welcome to the series, You Are Loved. My goal is to share people's incredible stories in the hopes of encouraging you to keep going no matter how hard it gets, and to show you how loved you are by your Heavenly Father. You are about to hear Ryan's story. Ryan was a proclaimed atheist, but he was exposed to such darkness that he had no choice but to start thinking there had to be light. He was incredibly successful, but in only 2 years he managed to unravel everything he had built. It literally took his mom kidnapping him and a trip to jail in order to save his life. Check out what happened and be sure to listen to what he has to say to someone who might be in a similar situation of darkness. Tell me your name, introduce yourself.
Ryan Jordan.
Ryan Jordan.
Yep. Born in Jacksonville, Florida, on the Jacksonville Navy base in the ASJAX. My mother moved up here when I was about 4, so born in North Florida, raised in West Knoxville, Loudoun County area.
Awesome. Tell me about your life before Jesus, before True Purpose. What was your life like then?
All over the place, but organized mess. I got into alcohol addiction pretty early on. I come from a family of alcoholics. My mother warned me about it, but it's legal. I'm just having a good time. I still went to work every day. Still made a good living. Owned a house, vehicles, motorcycles. Had everything. In relative terms, and but the addiction definitely had a hold of me. The alcohol turned into much bigger things. Depression set in, and eventually I discovered methamphetamines, and it only took 2 years to completely unravel everything. I lost everything that I had ever worked for, material things, and the reputation, just completely lost.
Wow, 2 years.
Yes, and that's all it took. I mean, two years seems like a long time, really, but I mean, it took 30-something years to build a life, and 2 years to just destroy it completely.
Wow. So tell me about how you came to True Purpose, or how you met Jesus maybe for the first time.
It's a fun story. My mother pretty much kidnapped me. Yeah, she get in the car, and I thought we were going down to the store to get a drink, and I was extremely high on methamphetamines. I'd been up for days. She passed the store up and just kept on going. And meanwhile, I'm on the phone with dispatch. I'm getting kidnapped. I mean, I was messed up. And my mom was like, tell her by who? So my mom, are you in danger? Not yet. It's awful. Look, I mean, I can laugh at it now. My mom can laugh at it now, but I was so sick. My mother was just trying. I mean, it was her last ditch effort. She brought me up to True Purpose Ministries, and Gage Titlow intercepted me before I could enter the building. They saw me walking up. I didn't have a shirt on. I had a full-brimmed hat on. I was a mess. And we went out back, and we sat at the picnic table and talked. And he was like, look, man, we accept you. If you can be here in a week, we'll have a bed for you. Just give me a call this Friday. This was on a Monday. Give me a call Friday, and that'll secure your bed. I said, okay. So I left. My mother dropped me off at my girlfriend at the time's house, and I was arrested within an hour. And so from jail, I couldn't make a phone call for a day. I mean, they took a long time to book me. I made a call. She's like, look, I'll bail you out. But you're staying with me until you go to True Purpose. I'm like, all right, whatever. The jail time gave me enough time to sober up, to dry out, as we say. And I thank God every day for that jail time. Those officers saved my life. If it weren't for me getting arrested that final time, I likely never would have showed back up to True Purpose. And then by the time I got to True Purpose, I was looking forward to it. I was looking forward to rehab. And I showed up to True Purpose with just so much love. I instantly knew that I was supposed to be there, just willing to give it a shot. And I wasn't a believer at the time. I'm like, we'll give this Jesus thing a try. Why not? So,
And so they showed you the love of Christ, which was
yes.
beautiful.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just overwhelming. I mean, it was so much that I exceeded being weirded out. Like, it's like if there was a certain level of excessive love, I would have been weirded out. But there was so much more than that that I just went straight past the weirded out. I was like, okay. I mean, I was used to weirdness on the completely opposite end of the spectrum. Like just the darkness, the demonic lifestyle that I was living around. Like I knew, I didn't yet believe in Christ or anything in the Bible, but I knew that there was darkness out there. It's like I had gotten so out there and been around with so many people, that had been that had embraced the darkness. I knew that was there, and that's what God used to reveal Himself to me. I had the realization He put it in me that, hey, look, if the devil's real, then I have to be real, and that's how I really came to believe.
So how does your life look different now? How long has it been since you went through the True Purpose program?
So I checked in almost 2.5 years ago. That's just the easiest number to say. Graduated the program, moved into Dane's house, which is the 4th phase in graduate home, there on campus. I got my Above and Beyond award, and I've just recently moved out, getting ready to start my journey. But how does my life look now? Is that what you asked? Completely different. 2 Corinthians 5:17 tells us that I am a new creation, and I'm the epitome of that. My life just proves how true that really is, because I don't think in the same ways that I thought before. I don't see the world in the same ways that I thought before. I know that I am His, and that makes even the hard times easy to go through for me.
So there's still a lot of people out there who are broken, who are lost, who are living a life closer to what you had a few years ago.
Yeah.
A lot of them consider giving up, or they think that they've gone too far to turn to God. What can you tell them that could give them hope or encouragement, or maybe some advice that really helps you get through?
Obviously, hang in there. Every breath that we're given is a shot at a second chance, or third, or fourth, or 100th, however many chances you need. And also know that you're not alone. Everybody has felt the confusion. I embraced atheism to a point to where I would preach it. I loved getting in arguments or debates with Christians. I would just put them up against the wall, and eventually nobody would ever win, but I'd walk away satisfied, and they'd walk away somewhat confused, depending on how strong they were in their faith. But just look around for God, and you'll see Him. Look around for Christ, and you'll see Him. Look at stories like myself and so many others at True Purpose and many faith-based recovery centers around the world. Like, look at where we came from and look at where we are now. Maybe not materialistic wise, but look at where we are just in our overall demeanor, our attitude towards things. Only God can do that. Only God can take us from needing a needle or needing a line to just needing Christ and Christ-loving people.
That's fantastic. I love that. So, last question: love. The world has a sometimes confused view of what love is, what love should look like, what love entails. How did love look to you previously, and what does it look like now?
I don't believe I knew what it was previously, but I see love as an action now. love, is it 1 Corinthians that goes through the love chapter?
Love chapter.
But love is patient, love is kind. I look for actions. I look for how people act towards other people to be able to determine whether or not they love. But like, and I think that myself, like, I have a hard time still liking certain people, but I don't have a hard time loving them. I treat them with kindness. I treat them with patience. Just overall decency. How I feel about them inside shouldn't reflect how I act towards them and how I treat them.
That's great. Wow. I'm so thankful that you shared your story with us today. I picture your mom, like,
oh man,
her love for you is so deep that she's willing to kidnap you.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's beautiful. I assume your relationship is good with her now.
Amazing. Yeah, she can't get enough of me. During my transition period between Maryville, Tennessee and Greenville, South Carolina, I'm staying with her just so we can spend that extra bit of time while I'm still in town, help her get some stuff done, and she can't get enough. It's like the prodigal. That's the prodigal son. You'll hear that referenced a lot in recovery because we really are the prodigals.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I love the restoration and the redemption that only he can bring.
Yes.
It's awesome. Yeah, so you said you're transitioning now. So what does that look like? What's next for you? What are you excited about doing now?
I've been collecting careers, been collecting trades over my life. Like I said, my life before Jesus was an organized mess. HVAC was my profession. I ran a successful business for a minute, obviously lost all that. So over 2 years ago, I said, I'm going to work on airplanes. And here we are. I'm getting ready to go work at the downtown Greenville airport, working on aircraft, beginning a 2.5 year long apprenticeship to get my aircraft or airframe and power plant license, and learn how to fly while I'm at it. Just new beginnings. God's just given me the chance to just rebuild everything, bigger and better. I've been going into the jails, and I go in there just to be a living, breathing piece of proof of what God can do, because I was in there and feeling that same sense of hopelessness. And I know that just seeing somebody walking it out is all it can take for somebody to realize that they can do it.
It's fantastic. I love it. Love it. Well, thank you again. Thank you for sharing your story. I know that it's going to reach people. It's going to touch people, and that lives are going to be changed just by sharing what you shared with us today.
That's all we can do. Just to share what we've been through and hope it touches somebody.
Thank you so much for watching. Join us next week to hear another incredible story. Be sure to subscribe or follow so that you never miss an episode. Also, I want to tell you about 2 ministries to check out. The first is called True Purpose Ministries. This is a fantastic organization that helps men and women lead a life of lasting sobriety in order to fulfill their God-given true purpose. The other is a national organization called Celebrate Recovery. It's a safe place to find community and freedom from the issues that are controlling your life. You can go to their website in order to find a meeting near you. Most importantly, out of everything we've said today, I pray that you know that no matter how far you have run from God, it is never too late. There is always hope because you are loved. God bless.